few years ago, everyone was talking about the metaverse as the future of the internet, a digital space where you could work from your living room, attend a concert without leaving home, buy clothes for your avatar, or even invest in virtual real estate. It sounded like science fiction, but it was starting to become reality. Then came the doubt. Did the metaverse die along with the NFT craze, or is it simply evolving in silence while the world looks the other way? The truth is, the metaverse hasn't disappeared, it's maturing. Its engine is powered by blockchain, cryptocurrencies, and Web3. Because without tokens, there is no economy. Without smart contracts, there is no trust. And without NFTs, there is no real digital ownership. Today, while some believe it was just a passing trend, tech giants like Meta, Microsoft, Binance, and Decentraland are still building the foundations of what could become a new parallel economy, one where every transaction, every asset, and every interaction is recorded on the blockchain. And it's not just happening quietly. In the United States, universities and corporations are already testing immersive education, finance, and even healthcare inside the metaverse. In the United Kingdom, London is positioning itself as a global financial hub for Web3 and metaverse tokenization, blending culture, fintech, and blockchain. Meanwhile, in Australia, entire classrooms are entering the metaverse for science, medicine, and even history, showing how these technologies could redefine how we learn and work. So the big question is, will the metaverse become the next great economic revolution or the biggest technological mirage of our time? Stay with us until the end, because this virtual world may not just be a game, but the very board on which the future of the digital economy will be drawn. Let's dive in. Let's start by understanding what the metaverse is and why it's important for the future of the economy. The metaverse isn't just a video game with graphics, like a futuristic virtual reality room. It's a much broader concept, a parallel digital universe where the physical and the virtual intertwine to create entirely new economic, social, and cultural experiences. The word itself tells us this: meta, which means beyond, and verse of universe, meaning a world beyond what we know but connected to it. The term isn't new. We first heard about it in Neil Stephenson's novel Snow Crash, where he imagined a kind of three-dimensional internet where people could live, interact, trade, and even have full digital identities through avatars. What seemed like science fiction? Today, it's becoming a technological standard. The metaverse as an ecosystem, but here's the most interesting thing. The metaverse is no longer seen as a mere passing fad, but as an ecosystem under construction, fueled by large companies, but also by crypto communities like Decentraland, The Sandbox, and Axie Infinity. The key difference from the old internet is that this new universe has its own economy. We're not talking about points in a video game that you lose when you close the session. This is about real money, verifiable ownership, and digital contracts that don't fail. In the metaverse, you can buy digital land and prove it's yours thanks to an NFT registered on the blockchain. Sell digital clothing for avatars and receive payments in Ethereum, Matis, or USDT. Attend a virtual concert and pay for your ticket with a wallet linked to your account, or even invest in tokenized real estate projects with returns measured in cryptocurrencies. This changes the rules of the game, because what happens in the metaverse isn't ephemeral, it has an economic impact in the real world. The four pillars of the metaverse, and here comes the big question: what makes it possible? The answer lies in the convergence of four technologies. Virtual reality. VR is the most immersive gateway to the metaverse. With a virtual reality headset, your eyes and ears are transported into a completely digital 3D world. It's not just about seeing a screen, but about feeling like you're inside a virtual city, a stadium, or a meeting room. Thanks to motion sensors, when you turn your head or move your hands, the environment responds in real time. This creates the sensation of presence, as if your body actually inhabits that space. This is why learning is essential, so that the metaverse isn't perceived as a simple video game, but as an alternative universe where you can work, socialize, and even build businesses. Augmented reality. Unlike VR, which isolates you in a complete digital world, augmented reality blends the physical with the virtual. Think of Pokemon Go, when a digital character appeared in your room or on the street through your phone's camera. AR works like this. It superimposes digital objects, data, or experiences onto the real world. This means that in the future, you might see price indicators in a physical store, holograms of a product before purchasing it, or even your teacher explaining a lesson with floating graphs in front of you. AR transforms our everyday environment into an interactive space rich with useful digital layers. Blockchain, crypto, and AI. Blockchain and cryptocurrencies are the foundation that gives value and trust to the metaverse. In a digital world, how do you know if a piece of land, a piece of art, or an avatar's outfit is truly yours? How do you prevent someone from endlessly copying that asset? This is where blockchain comes in, a transparent and unforgeable public ledger where all transactions are recorded. If you buy a plot of land in the Decentraland or an NFT in the Sandbox, the blockchain certifies your ownership. And cryptocurrencies are the fuel that fuels this economy. They allow you to pay for goods and services, transfer money in seconds, and provide liquidity to the entire ecosystem without relying on banks or borders. Artificial intelligence. Yes, if the metaverse were just empty scenarios, it would be meaningless. There at Vika, thanks to intelligent algorithms, virtual worlds can adapt to your tastes and needs. A digital assistant could guide you through a virtual city, answer questions, and personalize the experience based on your profile. NPCs, non-playable characters, would no longer be robots with limited responses, but avatars who converse naturally and realistically. Furthermore, it helps detect fraud, moderate communities, and ensure safety within these spaces. In short, it transforms the metaverse into a dynamic, living, and ever-evolving environment. The digital economy, the metaverse, is essentially the 3D internet of Web3, and without blockchain, crypto would simply be a video game. The metaverse economy, cryptocurrencies, and digital property. The heart of the metaverse isn't 3D graphics or virtual reality goggles. It's its digital economy, fueled by blockchain, cryptocurrencies, and NFTs. In this parallel world, goods and services aren't purchased with credit cards or traditional banknotes. Here, everything moves with tokens, digital assets that can be sent in seconds anywhere in the world without banks. Imagine this. A fashion designer creates digital clothing for avatars. Thanks to NFTs, these garments are unique, with a certificate of ownership registered on the blockchain. No one can copy or counterfeit them. Real use cases in the metaverse. The creator sells them directly to users and receives payment in cryptocurrency. An inventor purchases land in a virtual world, develops it, builds an event space, and then rents that space to brands that want to showcase their products in the metaverse. The entire process, purchase, rental, and payment, is done via smart contracts. A digital artist exhibits their work in a virtual gallery. Anyone can see the art, but only those who purchase the NFT own the original. Furthermore, the artist receives automatic royalties every time the work is resold in the future. This is how the metaverse economy works: open, decentralized, and without intermediaries. In this digital universe, there are no banks to approve your transactions, nor offices that close at set times. Everything moves thanks to cryptocurrencies and smart contracts, making the metaverse economy truly global, transparent, and available 24/7. The three functions of crypto in the metaverse: first, a medium of exchange. Cryptocurrencies perform the fundamental function of money. They allow you to buy and sell. The difference is that here, cash, cards, or intermediaries are not needed. You can purchase digital clothing for your avatar, buy virtual land, pay for concert tickets online, or rent space and 3D worlds. Everything happens directly, from user to user, with the security of the transaction being recorded on the blockchain. The most powerful thing is that no matter what country you're in, a creator in Argentina can sell to a buyer in Japan without worrying about banks or exchanges. Second, a store of value. In the metaverse, there's also a need to protect and preserve wealth. Many users prefer to store their funds in stablecoins or USDC, which maintain parity with the dollar to avoid the volatility of other cryptocurrencies. Others decide to invest directly in native tokens of metaverse projects, such as Mana in the Central Sandbox, because they believe in the growth of these ecosystems. In this way, the metaverse isn't just for spending, but also for accumulating value and building digital wealth. Third, the governance mechanism. This is perhaps the most innovative aspect. With some tokens, users not only have an economic asset, but also gain voting rights within the project. This means they can participate in collective decisions that affect the entire community, from designing new features to how resources are distributed or what rules will govern the virtual world. Thus, the metaverse becomes a democratic space where the community decides, not a centralized company. Most disruptively, all of this happens in an open market that never sleeps. There are no office hours, no borders, no permits to request. Anyone with internet access and a wallet can join, participate, and own a part of this new economy. Paradigm shift and asset ownership. It's a paradigm shift. From a closed, hierarchical financial system, we're moving to a decentralized, global, and accessible model. The difference with a traditional video game is stark. If you buy a digital sword in a classic game, that sword isn't really yours. It belongs to the company that created it and disappears if the game closes. In the metaverse, however, thanks to NFTs and blockchain, your digital assets are yours. You can sell them, trade them, or transfer them outside the platform where you acquired them. In other words, the metaverse isn't just a place for fun, but a new economic system where creativity, investment, and technology blend to shape an economy already in motion. Before continuing, let me invite you to become an active part of this community. Subscribe to the channel and activate the bell so you don't miss upcoming videos, because here we talk about finance, cryptocurrencies, blockchain, and the digital future in a clear and direct way. Check out the description. There you'll find links to resources, guides, and tools that can help you enter the metaverse and the crypto world with concrete steps. And of course, leave a like if this content is providing you with value. Comment on your opinion on where you think the metaverse is going, and share this video with someone who needs to understand this revolution. Now, let's get back to the topic, because the most exciting things are yet to come. Challenges and opportunities of the metaverse. While the metaverse promises a future full of possibilities, it also faces enormous challenges that will define whether it will be a global success or an idea that stops halfway. The first major challenge is scalability. More and more users want to participate, purchase assets, attend events, and move money in these digital worlds. But blockchain networks still face speed limitations and transaction costs. Projects like Ethereum, Polygon, and Solana are working on second-layer solutions and infrastructure improvements to enable millions of simultaneous operations without the system collapsing. The second challenge is accessibility. Today, fully experiencing the metaverse requires virtual reality headsets, advanced hardware, and fast connections. This creates a barrier to entry. However, the trend is clear. Over time, experiences will become lighter, accessible from a simple mobile phone, and with much more intuitive interfaces. The metaverse must be as easy to use as opening an app on your phone today. Then there's security. In a world where everything is stored on the blockchain and where assets have real value, the threat of hackers, scams, and fraud is inevitable. We've already seen impersonation attempts and wallet thefts. This is why responsible self-custody is essential. Keep your private keys safe, use secure wallets, and never trust promises or impossible returns. The freedom offered by the metaverse also brings responsibility. Another challenge is privacy. In these virtual worlds, every movement, purchase, or interaction can leave a digital footprint. If they aren't designed with an ethical approach, we run the risk of transferring the same surveillance and data exploitation problems that already exist in current social networks to the metaverse. Democratizing investment and education. Previously, global investment was inaccessible. Traditionally, investing in real estate, art, or entertainment required large sums of money and access to exclusive circles. The metaverse breaks down these barriers. A virtual building can be divided into thousands of tokens, and anyone, from a student in Mexico to an entrepreneur in Germany, can purchase a fraction and participate in the rent or its development. The same goes for digital art galleries or concerts in virtual worlds. Investment is no longer reserved for a select few, but open to any connected user. Second, new models of work and education. Imagine walking into your virtual office without having to travel, meeting with colleagues from different countries, and collaborating in real time on the same project. Or imagine a classroom where students explore 3D human anatomy, travel to ancient Rome, or experiment with physics simulators in safe environments. These models eliminate physical barriers, reduce costs, and open the door to much richer and more accessible educational and career experiences. The creator economy and financial inclusion. Third, the creator economy. In the traditional internet, artists, musicians, or programmers often depend on platforms that retain a large portion of their profits. In the metaverse, this logic changes. A musician can hold a virtual concert and receive payments directly in cryptocurrencies. A designer can sell digital clothing without paying unfair commissions to intermediaries. A developer can create immersive experiences and monetize them with NFTs or micropayments programmed in smart contracts. Here, creators regain control over their work and their earnings. Fourth, financial inclusion. Perhaps the most powerful opportunity is providing access to those excluded from the traditional financial system. In many countries, opening a bank account is impossible or very expensive. However, with a simple mobile phone and a wallet, anyone can store value, send remittances, participate in global projects, or even access decentralized credit. The metaverse combined with cryptocurrencies opens the door to an inclusive economic ecosystem where the only thing needed is an internet connection. In short, the challenges of the metaverse are real: scalability, security, accessibility, and privacy. But the opportunities are even greater, and the true impact will depend on how communities, businesses, and governments work together to harness this potential without repeating the mistakes of the current system. Innovation and the future of the metaverse. What makes the metaverse so fascinating is not only what already exists, but what's coming. It's an ecosystem under construction, fueled by several technologies advancing in parallel, which, when combined, can radically transform our digital and physical lives. The first of these is artificial intelligence, AI. AI will enable avatars to become more lifelike, capable of learning from our interactions and becoming personalized digital assistants. Imagine entering a virtual city and having your avatar interact with AI-powered merchants, musicians, or tour guides who respond naturally, adapting to your style and needs. It will also be crucial for security, filtering fraud, moderating communities, and creating more trustworthy environments. 5G and next-generation networks are another essential driver. These ultra-fast, low-latency connections will enable a seamless metaverse experience without interruptions or delays. From live concerts to business meetings with hundreds of avatars, network speed will make the difference between an immersive experience and a frustrating one. The IoT adds another level of disruption. Millions of connected devices will be able to interact with blockchain and the metaverse. Think of an electric car that only pays for charging at a virtual or physical station, or urban sensors that record data in real time and sell this information in digital marketplaces within the metaverse. Of course, none of this would be possible without blockchain. And we're not just talking about transactions. As new generations of faster and more efficient blockchains evolve, the foundation is being laid for secure digital identities, advanced smart contracts, and a global decentralized economy. Blockchain is the invisible glue that unites trust and ownership, transforming every interaction in the metaverse into something verifiable and of real value. Interoperability and digital identity. Internet 3.0 will be the connective tissue of all this. It's no longer about isolated platforms, but an interoperable ecosystem where you can transfer your identity, assets, and reputation from one virtual world to another. Buying a digital item in one metaverse and using it in another, or participating in a debate on one platform and voting on another, will be a natural part of the experience. But the most revolutionary aspect will be interoperability. In the future, there will be no isolated metaverses, but a connected ecosystem where you can transfer your avatar, your NFTs, your money, and even your digital reputation from one world to another. And here comes another key pillar: digital identity on the blockchain. Thanks to it, your profile will no longer be dependent on a company or a social network, but will be yours, verifiable, portable, and secure. This unique identity will be your passport to move freely in the new digital universe. Practical applications of the Metaverse. Practical applications of the Metaverse are already emerging, and what's most surprising is that many of them aren't in the world of video games, but in critical areas of our daily lives. First, education. Imagine walking into a history class where you not only read about the Roman Empire, but also walk its virtual streets. You interact with citizens and observe what life was like during that period. Or think of a medical student who can practice surgeries in an immersive environment without any risk to real patients. The Metaverse virtual classrooms transform education into an immersive experience, far deeper than a simple book or video call. Second, healthcare. The Metaverse opens revolutionary doors in telemedicine. Doctors can consult in private virtual rooms with immediate access to secure digital histories and clinics, and even perform remote operations thanks to telepresence systems and connected robots. This means a patient in a remote area can receive specialized care from a first-tier hospital located thousands of kilometers away. Third, the creative economy. Musicians, painters, filmmakers, and designers find a barrier-free global stage in the Metaverse. An artist can organize an exhibition in a virtual gallery and sell their works as NFTs to collectors around the world. A musician can perform a concert from home and fill a digital stadium with thousands of people paying for tickets in cryptocurrency. All this without intermediaries, with verifiable digital ownership and direct income for the creator. Fourth, work. Companies are also migrating to the Metaverse. Virtual offices are replacing physical ones, reducing infrastructure costs and eliminating geographical boundaries. Globally distributed teams can meet as if sharing the same room, with digital whiteboards, lifelike avatars, and spaces designed for natural collaboration. This isn't just enhanced telecommuting, it's a completely new form of business organization. In conclusion, the Metaverse is not just a space for leisure or entertainment. It is becoming a new social, economic, and technological space with the potential to redefine entire sectors, from education to medicine, from art to commerce, and in the way we work. Its true revolution lies not in what already exists, but in how these applications will continue to expand and integrate into our daily lives. Global impact of the Metaverse. To understand the scope of this phenomenon, let's look at how different countries and regions are incorporating the Metaverse into their economic, cultural, and social realities. Latin America and Spanish America. The Metaverse is becoming a true laboratory of inclusion and creativity. In Mexico, universities are already experimenting with virtual campuses for law, medicine, and architecture programs. Regional adoption of the Metaverse. In Colombia, startups are integrating blockchain with digital identity projects and remote learning. In Argentina, designers and musicians are monetizing NFTs and virtual concerts in galleries, bypassing the limitations of the banking system. In Chile and Peru, Turn communities have been launched, allowing young people to generate real income in digital worlds. While in Venezuela, the Metaverse is becoming an economic alternative in the face of hyperinflation, with entire families participating in blockchain games to support themselves financially. Spain. In Europe, Spain leads the way globally. Madrid and Barcelona have become hubs of Web3 innovation, with events like the Mobile World Congress and 4YFan exploring Metaverse applications in tourism, education, and commerce. Furthermore, cultural projects are recreating historical heritage in the AR. Visiting the Granada Cathedral or the Sagrada Familia in an immersive digital environment is already possible. The combination of European regulation and Spanish creativity is positioning the country as a key player in the adoption of the metaverse. France. Paris is promoting the metaverse in art and fashion, digital museums with NFTs and virtual fashion collections in collaboration with major brands. Italy. In Italy, Milan is exploring the design of digital avatar clothing, while Rome is developing cultural projects to recreate the Colosseum and Roman Forum in immersive environments. The metaverse is not just a futuristic vision, but a reality that is already finding concrete applications. Universities like Bocconi in Milan and Sapienza in Rome are experimenting with virtual classrooms for immersive distance learning, while fashion brands like Gucci and Dolce & Gabbana are creating digital collections for fashion shows in the metaverse. In the tourism sector, cities like Florence and Venice are developing interactive experiences that allow visitors to visit museums and monuments even thousands of kilometers away. Furthermore, Italian startups are focusing on solutions for hybrid work and remote collaboration, leveraging shared virtual spaces for companies and professionals. All this demonstrates how Italy is transforming the metaverse into a bridge between culture, innovation, and new economic opportunities. United States. In the United States, the metaverse has evolved from speculative hype into a strategic digital infrastructure with real-world applications. Tech giants like Meta and Microsoft are leading the development of immersive environments, integrating artificial intelligence, blockchain, and spatial computing across education, healthcare, entertainment, and remote work. Universities such as Stanford and MIT now operate virtual campuses with augmented reality classrooms, collaborative scientific simulations, and immersive labs. In the medical field, hospitals are testing telepresence surgeries using metaverse-linked robotics, while clinics offer private consultations in virtual rooms with secure access to digital health records. Meanwhile, the entertainment industry, especially in Los Angeles, is leveraging hyperreal avatars and synthetic environments for film production and fan engagement. US startups are also innovating in areas like sovereign digital identity, synthetic voice, industrial digital twins, and decentralized workspaces. By 2030, the US is expected to lead in virtual real estate, autonomous governance systems, and tokenized economies, positioning the metaverse as a foundational layer of digital life. United Kingdom. The United Kingdom, particularly London, has emerged as a global financial and cultural hub in the metaverse ecosystem. British banks are actively exploring asset tokenization, smart contracts, and decentralized finance (DeFi) models, while institutions like the Tate Modern and the Royal College of Art experiment with NFT exhibitions, digital fashion, and virtual collections. Government-backed initiatives are shaping ethical frameworks for interoperability, data protection, and universal accessibility in virtual environments. In education, universities such as Oxford and Cambridge are integrating immersive simulations, virtual labs, and historical reconstructions to expand the reach of higher learning. London also hosts major events like London Tech Week and the Metaverse Summit, showcasing advancements in blockchain-based identity, hybrid cultural experiences, and participatory digital governance. By the end of the decade, the UK aims to be a global leader in ethical metaverse innovation, creative industries, and inclusive virtual economies. Australia has embraced the metaverse as a practical tool for education, healthcare, and urban innovation. Universities in Sydney, Melbourne, and Brisbane offer courses in medicine, biology, and architecture using virtual reality, allowing students to interact with 3D models, anatomical simulators, and reconstructed historical environments. In healthcare, clinics are piloting virtual consultations with real-time access to patient records and remote diagnostics via telepresence systems. Cities like Perth and Adelaide are developing metaverse-connected urban twins, where IoT sensors feed live data into digital planning platforms. Australian startups are building solutions for hybrid work, remote collaboration, and monetized digital experiences through NFTs and smart micropayments. With the rollout of 5G networks, inclusive innovation policies, and strong investment in interoperability, Australia is on track to become a global leader in applied metaverse technologies by 2030, especially in decentralized education, connected healthcare, and intelligent urban design. Would you like me to mark natural pauses for voiceover rhythm or prepare multilingual blocks for regional adaptation? I can also help you build transitions or intros if you're assembling a full video script. In Japan and South Korea, governments are investing in national metaverses to integrate commerce, entertainment, and public services. Brazil and Portugal. In Brazil, Sao Paulo is developing real estate tokenization projects, while Rio de Janeiro organizes music festivals with fully digital tickets and payments. Portugal, for its part, is already a global hub. Lisbon hosts the Web Summit, an epicenter of blockchain projects and crypto startups designing interoperability applications for the metaverse. The future of the metaverse and cryptocurrencies, where are we, and what is the future of the metaverse and cryptocurrencies? The metaverse is not a simple digital experiment or a passing fad. It reflects how humanity is expanding its frontiers from physical to virtual, from local to global, and from centralized to decentralized. Cryptocurrencies, smart contracts, and blockchain are the fuel that fuels it now. Without them, the metaverse would be just a video game with beautiful graphics. With them, it is transforming into a new digital economy with ownership, open markets, and endless opportunities for those who know how to exploit them. This is the key. The metaverse and cryptocurrencies are not two separate realities. They are two sides of the same coin. The metaverse needs cryptocurrencies to function, and cryptocurrencies find their most tangible application in the metaverse. Without blockchain, a virtual terrain would be just a copyable image. Without tokens, digital concerts could not sell verifiable tickets without smart contracts. There would be no trust in rentals, sales, or exchanges. At the same time, for ordinary users, it is in the metaverse that cryptocurrencies cease to be an abstract investment and transform into useful, everyday money. Paying for a ticket in Ethereum, renting space in Mattis, or cashing out in Sendo within a blockchain game transforms cryptocurrencies into something living and close. The metaverse gives meaning to cryptocurrencies, and cryptocurrencies provide liquidity, governance, and trust to the metaverse. Together, they form the synergy that supports the new decentralized digital economy. The path will not be easy. There will be risks, challenges, and learnings. But there will also be pioneers who will build businesses, communities, cultures, and fortunes in this parallel universe. The big question is, will you be a spectator watching the digital world evolve, or a protagonist who dares to participate and create within it? Because the metaverse doesn't wait. It's growing, transforming, and opening doors every day. Those who understand it in time will have access to opportunities that will forever change the way we work, trade, entertain, and live. So, if you want to continue exploring this future, where blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, and artificial intelligence come together to build a new chapter in human history, subscribe to the channel, activate the bell, and join us on this journey. What's coming is not a distant dream. It's the beginning of an era where the physical and digital worlds are no longer opposites, but parts of the same reality. The physical and digital are no longer two separate worlds. They are one expanding universe. The metaverse isn't just the future of technology. It's the future of how we work, trade, learn, and dream. And the big question is, will you watch from the outside, or will you take courage and become a protagonist of this new era? The metaverse isn't science fiction. It's humanity's next frontier. And today you have the option to sit back and watch from the outside, or join in and build your place in this new economy. The future isn't something you wait for. It's created, and it's called the metaverse. So don't think about it any longer. Sign up now, check out the links in the description, and join this conversation. Remember, the future doesn't suddenly arrive. It's created every day, and yours can start right here in the metaverse.